Every evening at exactly 6 p.m., an old man played a silent violin at the corner of Willow Street, and everyone who passed by wept without knowing why. The town of Elmsworth was small, peaceful, and predictable. People rushed through their routines heads down, barely noticing the world around them. That was until Mr. Elliot, the quiet old man in a dusty brown coat, appeared one summer evening with a wooden violin that made no sound. He sat under a street lamp each day, eyes closed, drawing his bow across strings that had long been broken. No one heard music, but everyone felt something: sorrow, longing, peace. Children whispered that he was casting spells. Teenagers mocked him. But adults, they often paused, wiping tears they couldn't explain. It was Noah, a 16-year-old boy burdened with guilt and silence, who dared to speak to the old man. Noah had recently lost his mother in a tragic accident. Since then his world had turned gray. He couldn't speak about it, not to his father, not to his friends. He carried the weight of 1,000 unsaid things. One evening, while walking alone, Noah found himself standing in front of Mr. Elliot. "Why do you play it if it makes no sound?" Noah finally asked. Mr. Elliot opened his eyes, soft, tired, yet full of knowing. "Because not all pain needs a voice. Some people need silence to hear their hearts speak." Noah didn't understand, but those words stayed with him. For weeks Noah returned. Sometimes he sat. Sometimes he listened. Sometimes he wept. One night he spoke. "It was my fault," he whispered. "I was the one who dropped the candle. I caused the fire." Mr. Elliot didn't respond immediately. He simply drew his bow slowly, eyes shut. "You made a mistake," he said. "But that doesn't make you unworthy of forgiveness." One cold evening Mr. Elliot didn't show up. Nor the next day. By the third day people started asking questions. The florist said she hadn't seen him in town for weeks, only during those evening hours. The cafe owner mentioned he sometimes left behind scraps of music, handwritten and beautiful, but never played aloud. Noah couldn't sit still. He searched every alley, every bench. Finally he found Mr. Elliot at the town's elderly home. The man looked frail, oxygen tube attached, but smiled faintly at Noah's worried face. "I'm tired," he said, "but I wanted to leave something behind." He reached under his blanket and pulled out a wooden case. Inside was the same violin, but this time the strings had been replaced. "I think you're ready to play," he said. "But I don't know how," Noah replied. "You already do. You've been playing your heart every time you faced your silence." That night, Noah walked to Willow Street with the violin. He was trembling. He placed the case down, took out the instrument, and stood where Mr. Elliot once sat. And he played. The sound was broken, unsure, full of missed notes. But as the bow danced across the strings, people stopped again. Not because the music was perfect, but because it was real. A mother cried. A teacher smiled. A stranger bowed their head. Noah felt something shift. For the first time in months, the heaviness in his chest began to lift. And he played not to impress but to heal. A month later Mr. Elliot passed away. The town held a small ceremony. Noah played a piece he had written himself, a melody of sorrow and redemption. No one knew exactly who the old man was or where he had come from. But everyone remembered what he left behind. The courage to listen to silence and the power to forgive ourselves. Moral of the story: healing doesn't always begin with words. Sometimes, it starts with quiet understanding and the strength to forgive ourselves.